to the Investing Podcast presented by Tusk Media. For a quick audio and video check-in on the stock market, here's the Stock Market Power Lunch.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Investing Podcast. This is your Stock Market Power Lunch for Friday, July 22nd, 2016. Last update of the week, and as we wrap things up, I want to say a very special word of appreciation to some of our recent Twitter followers. First, if you're listening and you don't follow us, go ahead and go to @TuskMediaLLC and follow us on Twitter. We've been getting a lot of followers lately, and we really do appreciate them. But there's a certain class of follower that I think we've really started attracting somehow. And I don't know if it's these videos. I don't know if it's because there's a lot of these young ladies that just really care about investing. But as of late, we have had an awful lot of women, young women, in their underwear or bikinis follow us. And they seem like completely legitimate souls. When you look at their bios, they follow 5,000 people. They've just got a lot of interest. Obviously, investing is one of them. That's why they're here. No one follows them back. They usually tweet once, and it's a link that we're not allowed to pull up at work. Our service blocks it, says that it's not appropriate for the work environment. But thank you to you, fine ladies who are out there following us. We appreciate you. We know that you're trying to learn about investing. We're glad you're doing it. We're not too interested in learning a whole lot about you, but I'm honored that we're one of the 5,000 sources that you're using to get information. And I think you're really humble for not sharing a lot about yourself, not trying to say a whole lot, not tweeting a ton. We appreciate that. We're glad you're out here. We're glad we're part of your lives. And stick around. A lot of you follow for like a day and then you're gone. But we encourage you guys to stay back. I want to make sure we're being inviting to you all. So thanks for doing that. We're not going to watch your webcam, but we're glad you're here watching our webcam. Let's jump in. Let's talk about the markets. Markets rallying a little bit. They were mostly down but kind of flat in pre-market right now. The Dow is up 15 basis points, S&P up 35 basis points, NASDAQ up 57, Global Dow is down 4 basis points, gold down about 62 basis points, so a little more than 0.5%, and oil down about 1%. So interesting day. We're getting a nice rally to wrap up the week. We've had a really good run really since, I guess, early July now. So solid markets. I think people are having fun with that. Joseph, the intern, drew our logo, and the market's kind of doing this, which I don't want to say that we're prophets, but that is our logo, and it's been our logo for some time. And right now, market. So I'm not saying that it's causal, but you can't disprove that we're doing this to the market. I think the more informed people are, the more comfortable they are in investing, and the more comfortable they are in investing, the more likely the market's going to go up. So you're welcome, participants of the stock market. A couple stocks to point to: Chipotle Mexican Grill, no major outbreak yesterday. Stock is up 5%, so congrats to them. Skyworks announced that they have a 60% increase in inventory. Now think about that. That may not sound like a bad thing in and of itself, but if you're making a bunch of something, and imagine a big warehouse, and let's ignore chips and microprocessors and things that Skyworks actually make, but let's pretend that they're making shoes. They've got a bunch of shoes. Having one shoe, not ideal. You want to have two. So you want to have a certain number of masks that you can actually market. But if this whole wall was lined with shoes, and next year all of a sudden, instead of having one wall, I had 2 walls of shoes, that would mean those shoes had not been sold. And so that's not a great thing. So when you see a 60% increase in inventory, usually it means you're not selling enough or you're just making too many. It doesn't necessarily mean that, hey, sales have suffered. It just means that there's an overflow, a surplus, if you will. So Skyworks really taking a beating on that news. They are down about 8%. So not a great day for Skyworks. Keep an eye on them. That is a position we actually own in client portfolios. We're entertaining adding a little bit today. We don't think this is going to be a long-term trend. We think it's a cheap company still, but hadn't actually bought anything that I know of, at least not so far today. The RNC, this convention that just keeps on conventioning, it's crazy. Trump gave a very strict speech yesterday. A lot of people received it well. A lot of people didn't. That kind of happens when half the country hates you and half loves you. So not necessarily surprised there, but he then went off the script and immediately found a way to go ahead and start talking about how Ted Cruz's father might have killed JFK. That actually happened. He did a post-game presser like, whew, let's rip off this tie. The big storyline was that he did his speech on Thursday night off a teleprompter, The second that finished, he just went rogue. He had to schedule a 40-minute little session so that he could just come speak his mind, get loose a little bit. Trump doesn't drink. He's kind of famous for that. I think instead of drinking, he spends time talking like he is drunk. So that's what he actually did immediately afterwards. It's actually incredibly hilarious if you watch one and then the other back and forth, and you kind of have to rationalize, wait, who is this guy really? Bad news is he's probably the guy that thinks Ted Cruz's dad killed JFK. Yeah, got to connect those dots there. Abe Lincoln. I hate to pick on MarketWatch because we did last week and we really had a friendly, I think, solution to that war on MarketWatch. The MarketWatch watch ended quite peacefully with the interview with Cody Willard, but they had an article up today entitled this, "Here's what Abraham Lincoln saw at Trump's convention." And I don't want to play spoiler, guys, but this is what Abraham Lincoln saw during the convention. Dirt. He's dead. Y'all have a great weekend.
That is hilarious.
Have a great weekend. We will be back Monday morning. Bye.
Tusk Media is a subsidiary of Narwhal Capital Management. Ratings and reviews of Tusk Media content are not to be construed as endorsements of opinions, analysis, or services offered by Tusk or its parent company. The opinions and predictions shared here are our professional beliefs at the time of publication. We are not under duress from any of the corporate entities mentioned. This is not a solicitation to take any particular action. Although we are investment advisors, this information should not be considered investment, legal, or tax advice. We strive to be as impartial, insightful, and accurate as possible. We base our opinions, analysis, and calculations on information we believe to be reliable, but we cannot guarantee its accuracy. We can, however, guarantee that our opinions will sometimes be flat out wrong due to a variety of factors. Employees and clients of Narwhal Capital Management may or may not hold positions in the securities detailed and may or may not hold these positions in the future. A full list of all securities purchased, sold, or held during the 12 months preceding the date of this publication can be provided upon request. Unless otherwise noted, all data accessed via MarketWatch or the Bloomberg terminal. Past performance does not guarantee future results. A copy of Narwhal's Form ADV is available at the SEC's website, www.advisorinfo.sec.gov, or from Narwhal upon written request.